Hello everyone and welcome to the Book Room Comedy Club here again in my office rather than in the actual book room for the comedy. And I thought I'd start this week with a song. And then someone reminded me that Jen reminded me that actually I can't sing and my ability to play a musical instrument is known throughout the world as somewhat terrible. So I suppose we'll just have to forsake all of that. I'll leave it for Sweeps Week. Let's leave it for that, when we really need to get those cringe viewers, you know, the people that come in only when someone's done something really, really bad, and then they all come in and they say, no, that's terrible, but we're going to watch anyway. That's when we'll keep that for. Oh dear, so we'll dispense with the cabaret and we'll get right into the comedy. Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming tonight. Tonight is of course here on a Wednesday because we couldn't do it on the Sunday. And the reason we couldn't do that is the same reason that Jenny is not in the office with me. Basically, we had a bit of a problem with our internet. It went down on Sunday, and it didn't come back up until really, really quite late. And the reason for that is, who knows? It seems to be a big thing throughout the country. It just sort of went down and started causing issues. So we couldn't do it. So tonight, just to make sure that we have a proper stable now I'm only joking with you. Now tonight, just to make sure that we have a proper stable internet connection, I have actually sent Jen out with the special tools for repairing internet connections. I've given her a roll of duct tape and a hammer. So she is out there right now just doing her best Mr. Spock impression. The ship can't take any more, Captain. That's a terrible accent, isn't it? I can't do accents. It's just one of those things. But she is out welding together with the duct tape and smacking with the hammer all of the internet connection to make sure that we stay as stable as possible in terms of connection. I don't know whether we can stay stable in terms of mental abilities. That remains to be seen. So, if you heard that bang, 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 that was Jen. She's hitting things with a hammer. So, we are here in the game room again, and the reason for that is the same reason that we had last. Well, actually, it's a slightly modified reason. You see, last week we were told that I couldn't possibly move the model of North Wales that Jen has built on our dining room table, which is in the book room where the comedy normally comes from. I couldn't possibly move it last week because she was putting fake water onto it to make it look nice. And if we moved it, the fake water might drown the fake people, so we had to let it dry. Well, this week, it's a different excuse. It's very similar, but it's different. This week, she's introduced some fake animals to the build to make it look really nice. But the fake animals, well, they're not used to their surroundings yet, so we can't possibly disturb them with comedy until they get used to their new area and they don't get too scared when we come in and out. So we have to stay out of the room. Basically, I have to stay in my office. I'm not too worried about that though, because look at the size of this chair that I've got now. We've got a different chair. It's a new chair. It's a gaming chair. It's a chair built for people who want to sit in a chair. Now, that might seem a bit strange for you, but if you think about it, gamers tend to sit in one position for very long periods of time, whereas if you have an office chair or a sofa, they're designed for people who would sit down for quite a while, but then get up and do other things. Gamers don't get up. Now, once you are in the zone, you are in the zone. You stay there. So, I've got this massive chair. It's got support on the side of the legs. It's got lumbar support because I'm getting old and I need to make sure that my back doesn't go out. It's even got this. This is the weird bit, if you can see it. It's got neck support. In a chair, neck support. For, you know, when you're right in the zone and you're gaming and you have to take a corner really quickly. You don't want to get whiplash or anything like that. So it's got next up. Am I taking this chair into space? Is that how this goes? At one point I'm going to find a secret button and I'm just going to get launched into the stratosphere. Is that what the neck support's for? I mean, I'll take it if that's the situation. I want the support, but, you know, mainly I got it because it supports the buttocks and the lower back, which is very, very useful for someone who is a little bit on the slightly older side. So I'm very, very happy with that. Oh, so I hope you're all doing well tonight. It is a bit different to be here on a Wednesday. And, well, I kind of like it. It's a change of pace, let's put it that way. But still a strange situation we're in. Lockdown finished today, came to an end, kind of, but now we're all back in tiers. And my goodness, we're still in the same tier we were before. So essentially, in Manchester, nothing has changed. We were in tier 3 back in the start of the tier system, and we've been there ever since, which means we were in kind of lockdown, then we were in actual lockdown, and now we're back in kind of lockdown again. To which point, here in Manchester, we basically go, so now it's lockdown, but the shops are open. I'll take it. At least I can get out the house now. I can walk into town and look at things that I basically look at and think, yeah, I don't need that. And then I go home. As opposed to what I was doing during lockdown, which was walking into town going, oh, the shops are shut, and then going home. Just one of those things. So the other thing that's a bit weird is, well, you remember that the Americans had that general election. You might have noticed it. It was talked about here and there. I mean, sure, it wasn't front page news all across the world, because why would it be? These things aren't important. But they had a little election there and decided on a new president. Or did they? It's still going on. It's just ridiculous. Oh, how are they still doing it? So what you may not know is they've just been having some recounts. And how do they recount so? I'm sorry, guys, but it really shows up the difference between British politics and American politics. Because in Britain, 65 million votes might come in, and it'll take an evening. We'll tot them all up. We'll have an idea at about midnight what's going to happen, and then we'll keep going. And maybe 6 or 7 a.m. we'll probably have them all done. In America, 65 million votes come in, and we know about it the week after. How are they going so slow? And I worked it out. This is how they're doing it. Basically, they're counting slowly because they're doing these recounts. They're counting slowly because it's actually a parent. They're talking to Trump as if he's a parent, as if they're his parent. And they're trying to get their kid, their unruly kid, to do things that they don't want to do. And they're doing it by adding up slowly. And you know, if you've had a parent, you know what's going on here, because it's like this. 1 ballot, 2 ballots, 2.5 ballots. Don't make me count to 3 ballots. That's what's going on. That's how they're so slow in their recounts. Now, I know there's lots of people saying voter fraud, and then all these other people saying, well, show us some evidence. No, we can't possibly show you evidence. Then people might know how they did it. You can't make you can't make accusations like that. Oh, it happened. Yeah, it really happened. But I can't possibly show. Yeah, I've got all this evidence, but she goes to another school. You don't know her. It's the girlfriend in Canada defense. She goes to another school. You don't know her. I've got a girlfriend, but you've never met her. That's how it goes to me. What am I talking about? How did I get from ballots to girlfriends in Canada? This is what happens when you do comedy on a Wednesday. Nothing makes sense. But talking of not making sense, Trump is still going. And he won't concede. He just won't do it. It seems like he can't possibly contemplate the idea that people might not like him. So he demanded recounts. And he lost those recounts. He put in some court cases, and he lost the court cases. And now he's been claiming that he's not going to leave the White House because Biden didn't win. But he did win. And that's the thing. So, essentially, Trump has become the politician's equivalent of that player character in a Dungeons and Dragons game, whose character has just been burnt to crisp by a giant dragon, and in his last-ditch effort to try and save himself, he looks at the Dungeon Master square in the eye and says, I attempt to disbelieve. This dragon, it is illusionary, it's an illusionary dragon, and my character is only being tricked into thinking they are dead. So I attempt to disbelieve. I'm actually still alive. I just think I'm dead. But it's not a trick, is it? The dragon is real. The player can roll as many dice as he likes. He is still going home in a dustpan. Now, I don't want to say that Trump is a small? I've been thinking about things being done to crisps. Now, I'm not going to say that Trump is a sore loser. Because, let's face it, this is comedy, not reality television. But the point, at this point, you have to wonder, what's going on? Well, my friends, I believe that I have discovered the true reason behind the situation that we all find ourselves in. And it is stranger than anyone could possibly ever have thought. The reality is that President Trump is stuck under a spell. Little old Trumpelstiltskin here, he has his foot stuck in a magical floorboard in the Oval Office. And he needs our help to get out. But he can't tell us that he needs our help because that would break the spell. So, he has to wait for us. And he needs us. But he can't say he needs us. He has to wait for us to escape. And the way he escapes is we must trick little old Trumpelstiltskin into saying his name backwards. Then he can escape. We have to trick him. It's the only way to break the spell. So someone better get in there. They have to trick him into saying his name backwards. Trumpelstiltskin. I wouldn't even know how to say that backwards, but we have to do it. We have to trick him into doing it. And then he will disappear in a puff of smoke. Or maybe a flurry of lawsuits. At this point, it's either or. It's a 50-50, but someone better get in there. And the main thing we have to take away from that is that he will be gone. Either way. So, someone better get in there and start fixing this, but that's not going to happen either. I think the next guy's going to have a bit of a fight on his hands in terms of how to mess this place up even more, but I'm sure he'll be able to achieve that. I'm sorry, did you think I was going to say that he would make things better? Because that's not going to happen. Come on, guys. The new guy who's on camera sniffing someone's hair, you think he's going to do any better than the old one? It's not going to happen. The first thing's going to happen at his inaugural speech. Biden is going to step up to the microphone and go, "Buckle up, suckers. This next 4 years is going to be a doozy." That's my prediction anyway. You never know. It may be okay. But 4 years is a long time. They used to say time flies when you're having fun. And I always wondered, back in the day, does that mean the opposite is true as well? Does time slow down when you're not having fun? And you know what? I think we've just had a very, very big worldwide experiment to determine whether this is true. I mean, we don't need to wonder anymore, do we? Look at the world. We have all been stuck on our sofas, sitting around just waiting to see what would happen next and whether it was as bad as the thing that had just happened. Lockdown has been the giant experiment on whether time slows down when you're not having any fun. And quite frankly, I think we need to talk to the scientists who established this big global experiment to ask whether they filled in all those forms about ethics in human experimentation, because I'm not certain. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't. If I had known that sitting on my backside watching Star Trek for 7 months out of the year was going to be a bad thing, I might have reconsidered. Just one of those things. Oh, for the purposes of science, guys, I think we can all agree that, yeah, it might have been a nice experiment as a thought experiment, but they should never have been allowed to actually put it into practice. Science got some good results. I'm sure the scientists got the results they were wanting, but we need to move on. But we're getting the vaccine. The vaccine was announced today, and I am very, very happy that the vaccine has been announced. And I'll be even happier once I've had it and I can go and sneeze on people accidentally in my family gatherings. Beth, you know what I'm talking about there. Without as much sorrow as I would have in any other circumstance. And for those of you who aren't privy to what happened, This is true. This is a true story. One Christmas, we were out at a family gathering, and one of our family members, we were visiting their house. They had a dog and a cat and a parrot, and basically it turns out that I'm allergic to large amounts of animals in one place. So I got the sniffles and I started to sneeze. But I was holding a very young baby at the time, and I didn't want to sneeze on the baby because that would be rude. So I turned away while I sneezed, forgetting that my sister was right next to me. So, oh, I can't sneeze on your baby. Straight over her. So, Beth, if you're in the house at the moment, yeah, I'd say sorry, but it's in my comedy routine, so you know, I'm not. I am, but I'm not. Thanks for the material. Oh, the things we do, you know. But I had this weird thought the other day, and I love to share my weird thoughts with you guys because, you know, these things, they must be shared, otherwise they grow. And I was thinking, scientists take things too far sometimes, but it's not just science. Other nerds take things too far too. Linguists, for example. Linguists are a bit weird. And French is definitely the one to watch in this regard. You know, I remember one time I was given a description of the differences between French and English, and they're quite telling. In English, you can, well, how can I put this? In English, you can read a word, but not know how to pronounce it. It's one of those big issues that we tend to have, which is why it takes so long for English to be learned as a foreign language. In English, you can read a word and not know how to speak it. In French, you can hear someone speak a word and not know how to spell it. It's just, it's like two sides of the same coin. We are very similar cousins who don't like each other and have fought for hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, a standard family. And it's funny because it's true. But the reason that French people don't know whether they can spell things is because of one big thing that is almost unique to French, in fact. They like accents. They're a big fan of accents. If a French word doesn't have an accent in it, is it really a French word? Questions like that I like to ask myself. But like everyone who enjoys something, French as a language has to take things that little bit too far. No one will tell them to stop, so they take it a little bit too far. Because in French, those accents aren't just there to help you pronounce the word. Sometimes they're there because you used to spell a word with a letter that is no longer there. Yes, you heard that right. In French, there are accents that mean, yeah, we don't spell it like that anymore. There used to be a letter there, but now in this word, we don't need it. But we've got a marker, just so you don't forget. Do you ever think any other language would do that? Do you think in English we would put up with nonsense of that scale? Do you think German would look at an accent like that and think, yes, that is efficiency, we will accept that? Because I don't. But French does it. It marks places in words where S's, for example, used to be. Like the word forêt, which is French for forest. And I'm probably mispronouncing it because I don't care and it's funny. So, forêt, it has a circumflex accent over the E because there used to be an S after the E. It used to be spelled forest. So, yeah, that's very nice. Why do they do this? Is it some plan to help English students to learn French? I was wondering about this. Do you think anyone has ever, in French, like if you went to the Académie Française where they were working out how they were going to spell all these words, do you think any of them ever sat down and went, Monsieur, we no longer say the letter S in these words. What should we do about the spellings? And this is a terrible accent. Why don't we put in an accent as an historical marker to say S used to be here. Mon Dieu, c'est une idée fantastique. It will help the English school children to learn and speak our tongue much easier. I just don't see that happening. I really don't. It's just one of those ridiculous things. No way would anyone in France ever think, well, this will make it much, much easier for English students. All of these millions of French people will have to spend extra ink and extra time learning how to write their own language so that English students can have a bit of a break. I don't see it happening. It's just one of those weird things. It's just, so why is it there? Why? Is it a placeholder in case the S decides to come back? Is this the linguistic equivalent of getting up early to put your towel on the deck chairs while you're on holiday? I just don't get it. And then I thought about it a bit more. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have worked it out. Perhaps it's not there as an historical marker. Perhaps French as a language has been watching a lot of film trailers and has decided that it's going to have a linguistic trailer. It's getting you psyched up for a forthcoming change. And I can just see it now. From the makers of Fit and Gâteau, coming soon, an S. In dictionaries, summer 2025. That's it, isn't it? It's marketing. It has to be marketing. Marketing gets everywhere these days. Sooner or later, you will not be able to move without seeing accents on everything. People will be introducing strange new spellings just to make sure that you have to subscribe to the latest update of the new dictionary. Have you got a 9th edition dictionary? Well, 9.5 comes out tomorrow, and it's got all the new spellings. You'll not be able to write down your daily shopping list. Remember how you spell soups? Well, now we don't do it. Now it's got a Q, an F, and a Z in it. So you've got to stick with it. You've got to keep your dictionaries updated with the latest subscription. That's how it works. And I tell you, it is going to start like that. They've already got your own xylophone. Do you think you needed all those weird obscure letters? That's where it is. And if you think that it won't happen, you haven't been paying attention. And that's how they get you. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want to end with another thought. And this one's really important to me, so I want to share it with you. And it's a thought about chess. And chess tutors in a lot of computer programs. Now, you may remember that recently Netflix put out this new series, and it's all about chess. It's about a girl who plays chess and plays chess really well. And it got a lot of people playing chess, or talking about playing chess, or talking about how they used to play chess and they haven't for a while and they want to get back into it. And I want to say that I got into chess again because of this program. Because, to be honest with you, it's better than what I'm actually going to tell you. Sometimes the truth is not quite as good as saying, yes, I'm a sheep and I just followed the herd. This is my story about chess. Now, back when I was a child at secondary school, I used to be a member of our chess group. If I lived in an American TV show, I would have been one of those people who was part of the chess club. But I'm British, so we have our own stereotypes. And, well, let's say, it was an extracurricular activity. On a Friday afternoon, we had half an hour every Friday where we all got to do an activity. And it wasn't like geography or anything like that. So I was part of the chess group. I went and played chess every Friday afternoon while all of the popular and more boisterous kids went outside and, I don't know, kicked each other or something like that. I think they were supposed to be playing sports, but mainly it was like an organised fight. You know, if you were there, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. So, I played chess. I played a lot of chess. Several games every afternoon, in fact. And if you just stopped listening at that point, you would think, my goodness, that sounds pretty good. Being able to play several games of chess in half an hour, that's extraordinary. because there are 3 different ways that is possible. I could be so really, really great at chess that I played a lot of different people all at once. Or I could just be so really, really great at chess that I could beat people at a game of chess very quickly. Or I could be really, really bad at chess to the point where I could lose very, very quickly. I was in the 3rd category. So ladies and gentlemen, I started playing chess at home on my computer in the hopes of getting better. And that's where I started having trouble. Not because the computer would beat me all the time. I was expecting the computer to beat me all the time. I mean, every other person in the world could, so why shouldn't the computer? My problem wasn't that. My problem was that chess tutors aren't really designed for people like me. You see, when you come in at chess and you say, I want to learn, it starts you off by telling you, well, this little horsey, it go in an L shape. Horsey go L. Little tower thing, not a castle, rook. So you can go forward, back, left and right, but not a castle. Except if you swap places between king and rook, that's called castling. Yeah. We like to confuse you. It's chess. It patronises you. Anyone has to learn about all the pieces, what they're called, which directions they go in, and all of that. Absolutely agree. That has to be there. But that's what you get if you press beginner tutorial. So I decided, well, I already know this. I don't need to learn it again. So I pressed intermediate. And this is what it told me. So what we've got here is the Smirnov-Ribbentrop defense. And you do this, that and the other thing. What? Hang on. I've gone from horsey go in L shape to advanced military tactics in one button. One button changed from that to that. Now I've gone from being patronised to being confused. Where's the button that says, I don't want to be beaten by a 12-year-old at chess. Teach me some chess. There isn't one. You either get patronised or you get confused. So I need a button that basically says, Zoe, here's how to not suck as much. Press this button, we'll tell you how to not suck. And it's never there. I have 50 different games of chess. And none of them have taught me how to play chess. I need a new button. So that's my chess story. I suck. And I don't want to suck. And I just keep getting patronised. It's not fair. So I can't play chess. Even though I try. And it makes me sad. Because, like I said a few weeks ago, in fact, I think it was the first episode of the Comedy Club, you can spend thousands of hours learning how to do things badly. And I proved that to myself with chess. I have spent thousands upon thousands of hours finding all the different ways to lose at chess. None of them to win. And that's where we're going to leave it tonight. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me with my little rant about how I suck at games that are hundreds of years old. Now we're going to go over to the comments and see what you guys have been saying. And as always, I like to have a Q&A at the end of these little sessions, just to have a conversation with you. You've sat through my rants. It's always nice to be able to give a little bit back. So let's have a quick look. I'm going right back to the start, where North End Sidings has said, Zoe, don't be nervous. Whatever you do, do not get nervous. Do not get nervous. I mean, that's the worst thing to do. Yes. And as I said in the comments for that, telling me not to get nervous is a bit like saying, Zoe, whatever you do, do not, under any circumstances, don't think of a pink elephant. How do you not think of one? If you focus someone like, don't do it, don't do this exact thing, do not do it. They're going to do it. It's just human nature, you know? It's just how it is. But it also said that he's wearing his Sonic shirt in solidarity, so fantastic. Sonic go whoosh. Oh dear. What are we talking about? Then we also have well, my little niece Esme apparently is enjoying being in the zone with the gaming chair. The gaming chair, when you get in the zone, this is what you need, and I'm very happy with it. To which then my sister has said, "There's photo fraud because it's not fair and I'm losing." Yes. Yes, it is. It's only voter fraud when you're losing. Otherwise, it's just tactical extra ballots. But we had a question saying from Northern Sightings, Zoe, is that a Dreamcast virtual memory unit behind you? This one here, it is. It's a visual memory unit. It's still got the sticker on from 1999. My goodness. That was worth a lot more back then, 1999, but these days, not so much. It's weird how money has gone downhill like that. Oh dear. So, you know what? We're going to have to end with that, I think, because it's oh dear. I'm just looking at the comments where you're all now going, Sonic go whoosh, Horsey go L. But it's true. Horsey go L. Go in L shape. Very good. It's really bad when you laugh at your own jokes, but you know, it's just one of those things. I have really, really enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much for coming along, guys. I love doing these shows. I hope you love these shows too, and I hope you stay safe. Remember, we've got the vaccine coming. The virus is under control, but it's still there. So stay safe, and I'll see you on Sunday. Take care. Good night. I've got to remember where the button is now. The button to stop. Thank you so much for coming along, guys. Take care.